Hey, this is Edward. Welcome to More Geek Than Gay. I'm gonna start some theme music while I figure out if I need to, do something about these gosh darn cats.
There's no need to fear. Underdog is here.
Wimpy whoopy, tiny whiny stuff.
Hello and welcome to More Geek Than Gay. I'm Joseph.
I'm Edward.
And you've come to watch or listen to us in our next installment of More Geek Than Gay.
Wow, how incredibly formal of you.
I know. Kind of scary, isn't it?
That's
about as formal as I'm going to get today.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
Last week we were
it's
very
like a pod
off
somewhere.
Yeah, and the last week we were off the cuff. This week it's going to be even worse because I didn't write anything down.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, this week is kind of just an abridged episode anyway. It's going to be another one of those little short ones because we want to make sure everyone understands that we're not podfading. But
Is that a term?
it is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when just start becoming less and less frequent, and it's like, oh, we're going to go on hiatus, and then, whew, never back again to podfade. Yeah, we're not podfading.
We're just busy.
We're just busy. Yeah. I got the mandatory 10s and school's kicking my ass because I hate my class. So that's...
And things have been really busy with me and I'm like starting to forget things.
Yeah. Oh, on the plus side with my class, my magazine cover I had to come up with.
She liked it?
She marked it down on various points that I didn't do, even though it fit the description of the type of magazine cover of... It fit the style of magazine cover of what I was designing the magazine to be. Because I decided to do like a literary magazine, like Analog, Asimov's science fiction, Ellery Queen magazine, those type. But of the horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the assignment was we're supposed to come up with a cover photo. I didn't realize it was supposed to be a photo. I thought a JPEG would do. Even though it said photo, I figured a JPEG would do because we've already done photo manipulations for magazine covers. And if you can manipulate a JPEG, you've manipulated a photo. But it was supposed to be a photo, and we're supposed to have like 4 or however many you want images on the cover, which I interpreted as however many you want. Well, my type of magazine typically doesn't have any additional images on it. So I just put in 1. Yeah, I was marked down for that too. But she can't do math, and so I got almost full credit on the assignment.
Well, here's the thing, though. If it says photo, that means photo. If it says 4 and as many as you want, that means at least 4.
See, it says as many as you want.
But it said 4.
It said about 4 or as many as you want. It literally said about 4 or as many as you want.
Which means it's 4.
Or as many as you want.
Exactly.
Which is
so
1.
You could no.
I didn't even want that one.
Oh, God, Edward, you really need to stop being such a Nazi grammar and realize what people say when they write things down or say things. When it says 4 or as many as you want, it means 4.
Or as many as you want.
Exactly, as many. So you could have 7. You have 10.
Who would buy a magazine that has 7 pictures all just plastered willy-nilly all over?
This is not a real magazine. This is not a real magazine. Get your mind out of the real world when you're dealing with school. You should know that by now.
We're supposed to be treating it like it's a professional magazine.
Well, guess what? It's not.
But But and now the photo one I'll give you. I'm not going, okay, I guess it was supposed to be a photo. I just thought that she put photo in there because she figured everyone would be doing a fashion magazine. And there's no difference between manipulating a photo or just a picture that happens
Am
to
I
be
going to have to
taken.
look over your syllabus to make sure that you do things right?
Hey, I got almost full credit for this.
That's because she doesn't know how to do math.
She doesn't know how to do math. Yay! And then we had to post it in class, though, this week. And defend our cover choices. And everybody's loving my photo cover.
Hello,
or
Streaky.
my magazine cover.
Streaky Zorel. We've got Streaky Zorel. And she's,
Hi, Streaky.
She's complaining. That's Edward's kitty.
Hi, Streaky.
So anything else for your week? Because I guess this is talking about your week.
That's pretty much my week. And the fact that we're just really insanely busy at work.
This is Streaky Zorel,
Hi, Streaky.
which hopefully DC won't get mad at us.
Someone owns the trademark to your name. But, okay. And do you have a short abridged version of your week?
My week, oh my gosh, let's see. We won another game at darts, so we're 2-2.
2-2.
Joshua Tree was busy. Getting ready. This weekend is the gay rodeo, so we're getting busy with that. Joshua Tree will have a table. And so getting geared up for that. Let's see what else is going on. Oh gosh. Why do I feel... Oh, magazine. We had a deadline with the Compete magazine, the magazine I work for, and so that was always fun when you deal with deadlines, trying to get this out. Oh, and this, I don't know if you saw, on the interwebs this morning, Phoenix Comic Con officially announced that Jeannie Koch is going to be at Phoenix Comic Con. They announced it this morning.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to Phoenix Comic Con news yet.
Well, I'm just telling you.
Oh, okay.
And that was my week, because, you know, that's my 4 jobs.
Oh, okay.
Because I have 4 jobs.
She's just finding her Streaky Zorel and her lap of solitude.
Mm-hmm.
Anything where she can shed all the hair she wants to on.
Yeah,
black
we're dressed up
jeans.
for work, by the way, in case you were wondering.
I gotta go. I have mandatory 10-hour shifts, so I have to go into work early. Yay,
Yeah.
me.
And I have to go into Joshua Tree, and I have 4 appointments today. Well, 2 appointments, 2 meetings. So we'll figure that out.
If I knew she was gonna like podcast bomb us,
You would have washed her butt?
I would have put her cape on.
Oh well.
Yeah,
They're the one who let her in.
she just ran in, and no one lets her in.
So, next subject.
So this weekend there was we had a Phoenix Comic Con
This
meeting.
past weekend.
Yes. Yeah. And Joseph went with me to it. Got to do the moderator meeting. And because the main meeting, the all hands meeting, was really flipping short. I had already told them that we were
And on time.
Yeah, it was on time and incredibly short. Apparently they got that done in like half an hour because we were there only about 45 minutes late. I was earlier than what I said I was going to be late because I told them that I'd probably be there around 11 instead of 10. And it was a 10 to 2 meeting. So, and usually the first half of it is the all hands, the second half is departments. And no, they got pretty much done within like 30 minutes. We showed up and people were just loitering in the hallways. And so what did you think of the moderators meeting?
Do you want the honest truth?
I'm on the team that's called the Warp Masters, but every time I see that name, I think Fap Master, and I don't know why. But what's the honest to God truth, honey?
Phoenix Comic Con is known as one of the most organized cons out there.
We are!
And if that is one of the most organized cons out there, I hate to be around with some of the ones that are disorganized. We were there until 2:30, and I wanted to commit Harry within the first 45 minutes.
And we were actually doing stuff as compared to other meetings I've been to. He didn't believe me when I sit there and say, "Oh my God, nothing's happened. I've been here for an hour."
For 45 minutes, the beginning of the moderators group, for 45 minutes, they did roll call, like you're in grade school.
We did roll call.
And you had to say present if your name was done. And if your name wasn't announced, then you had to put up your hand so they could write it down on their list. Roll call.
Roll call.
Yeah.
And then they passed around a board for you to sign in.
Yeah. Like I said, if this is one of the most organized ones, I'd hate to see the ones that are not organized.
Now, to be completely fair, it was the first meeting, all moderators meeting, because before this, it was basically
Returning and then
the auditions for the new ones, yeah.
But
Recruiting for the new ones, yeah.
I've been to many meetings over the years, and you never do a roll call. You have a sign-in sheet. 45 minutes.
We did something different.
45 minutes.
Did something different.
Lordy, 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 lordy.
And that way we got to know each other.
But it was
I have no idea who anyone else is there other than Shannon. Hi, Shannon. It took me half an hour to remember her name.
Which one's Shannon?
Shannon's the one from the comic book store.
Oh, Shannon. Well, and Mandy was there.
Well, Mandy, yeah. Okay, so...
Your old boss.
Yeah, and Mandy and
Oh,
Amber.
Shannon new?
Shannon's new.
Oh, I didn't know Shannon was new.
Yeah,
She didn't
Shannon.
have time to moderate?
See, that's what I was asking her, because she has her own booth.
She has her own booth, and then she's also at Samurai.
And she's going to have her... she wasn't at Samurai last year.
Yeah, she was.
Was she? I didn't
For
think
a couple
she did.
hours. She had to do Samurai.
Oh, okay, because she had her own booth.
Yes.
And she says she's still going to have her own booth this year, too.
I don't know how she's going to moderate.
Well, she does have her friends and her sister.
Yeah.
Because they did the Powerpuff Girls. They should have gotten like some like extra friend to be Bunny. No one ever remembers.
Maybe we just didn't see it.
No one ever remembers the fourth Powerpuff Girl, Bunny.
And then
They announced a new guest.
they announced a new guest, but
So
I
we
don't
have-
remember who it was. So.
We have Eliza Dushku.
Yay!
We have Bruce Campbell.
Okay.
We have.
The Chin.
I think there's some third person that's on the website.
Paul. Mark. Something or other.
Yes, Paul Mark something. and also
Let's see if you know this name.
3 names. It's a 3-name person. Last name Davies. Philip Hyde Davies.
Nope.
Marcus Welby Davies.
Nope. If you don't know the names, why are you even bringing it up?
Curtis Crowe Davies. Because I know you'll know the name after I start saying it.
I have no idea about this name. I didn't even know
Really?
about the Mark Paul guy or Paul something. Paul Mark something. I have no idea.
It's the guy from Sliders that played the professor. And
It's-
he was also in Indiana Jones.
Yes, he's Sala.
He's solid in Indiana Jones.
John Rice Davies.
See, I knew you would know. All I had to do was get it started. Ha!
And what about the other guy?
I actually haven't looked at his name long enough because I was surprised to see that when I went on the website and I saw there was 3 people. I was like, oh no, there's 3 people. Oh wait, that's not him. And then, but I didn't actually look and see what the name was. So, but it seems like Mark Paul or something like that is a name. But I don't think
No.
that's who it was.
I have no idea who it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Character actor.
But we also have some. I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this one. Well, I can't. There's a camera right there. Honey, as you pointed out, I don't. But we have other guests that are scheduled to come. A very prominent author guest.
Yeah, no, you can't say that.
Yeah, see,
They
I
haven't
didn't
made the
think
announcement yet.
Yeah, I didn't think they made the announcement yet. See, the Davies one, well, it's not been announced on the website, and I don't think it's been announced anywhere else. Like, the meeting was an open meeting. Anyone could walk in. So if it was announced there, it's fair game. So, but...
Compared to when you're at the moderators' meetings. That's not an open meeting.
Oh, well, this wasn't even announced at the moderators'
But I'm
meeting.
just saying.
It was mentioned
But I'm
in the
just saying
conversation.
compared to, yeah.
Yeah. Although I think I saw her name on the website, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it was. I don't remember
Oh.
seeing her name.
Yeah, yeah.
He'll actually do some research, I hope. So next week we'll be able to tell you for sure.
But actually an author that I like,
But
I
don't
know is
count on
showing
it.
up. I mean, there's a
Has
lot
she
of
been
authors
announced?
I like. It's a he. Surprise, surprise, it's actually a male author. And he's on the website. He's
Okay.
been announced. And I always confuse him with a comic book artist who has a similar type name. So there's a chance I will get his name wrong.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Do some research and maybe you should write this stuff down.
Hey, we're just getting this shit out here. So, but I remember seeing him at San Diego Comic Con. And Christopher Golden, something Golden.
that just...
One of those is a comic book artist, one of those is a writer. So the one that's not a comic book artist, that's the one that's showing up. The one that is a comic
More
book
Geek
writer...
Than Gay, brought to you by research and understanding what's going on in the world.
The one that is a comic book artist, I don't know what he's doing nowadays. He really should do something. He was a really good comic book artist. And Michael T. Gilbert should be doing something too. Where's our next Mr. Monster? Hey. But so that's that. Oh, and well, actually, I guess that's that as far as Comic-Con, Phoenix Comic-Con.
Yeah. Oh, hey, what?
Well, I was actually going to go on to TV shows.
Okay, TV shows.
TV shows. Dee. And
A news cast? What? A news? What?
this just in.
Okay, now we're on the Muppets. It's the Muppet Show all over again.
So we watched King of the Nerds.
We have been watching King of the Nerds, but we keep forgetting to talk about it.
Yes.
Because it's already in its third week.
Third week?
Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, this week is going to be 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kicked off 3 people. 3 nerds.
3 or 4.
Well, technically 4.
Because they kicked off 2 the first.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they kicked off the one guy, and now they kicked off that girl,
Mary Kay.
Mary Kay.
Or Mary Kate. MK. They were calling her MK.
But my favorite thing about More Geek Than Gay, King of the Nerds right now, is I have the suspicion that we're watching the birth of a supervillain. I cannot remember his name. Zach, who I guess kind of started out as the leader of his team.
Yes.
Has now become kind of the hated member of his team.
The head member of the whole show.
Yeah.
Because both teams hate him.
And they're in teams and they're competing against each other. So one team keeps on trying to figure out ways to keep him in because he's so destructive to his own team. And the other team is trying to get rid of him. His own team is trying to get rid of him because he's so destructive to his own team. But he was trying to cooperate with them as they worked on a skit. A LARP skit, which that kind of contradicts things. And actually, I think they should have won the LARP
and they should have won the other one, too. They should have won the...
Was it cosplay?
No, they should have won the LARP skit, and they should have won... the
volcano.
The volcano, the science fair.
The science fair one. But, yeah, they had to do a little LARP encounter. They actually kept true to what LARPing is, and they ad-libbed and did the whole thing. The other one was... They improv'd. Where the other one was clearly a written-out, rehearsed, practiced skit. And that's not LARPing, that's a skit. But when things weren't going quite his way on there, and one girl was having a little bit of an attitude, the one who got kicked off, that he beat, he suddenly went from cooperating to, I don't need any of you, I'm better than all of you, I will take you all down one by one, and stormed out of the room. Like, in his best Lex Luthor, it's a teenager thing. It was great. I seriously think that this is how many evil supervillains get their start.
On King of the Nerds.
Yes. With all their friends going, I will take you down one by one. But they ended up having to... His team voted him into the final challenge because they lost.
The Nerd Off.
Right. And therefore they have to... One person from their team has to be kicked off. The team chooses one, and the opposing team chooses the other person. They chose him unanimously, and the opposing
including
team,
himself. He chose himself. That's why it was unanimously.
Yeah, he voted for himself. And then the other team voted for the girl that actually kind of caused him to have his supervillain moment in the rehearsals or practice or whatever, who was much more reasonable, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting that each time it ends up being 2 arch enemies going against each other. Because last week he took down the big guy who was his arch enemy, and this time he took down the girl who was his arch enemy. I think the redhead is, like, next.
Nicole.
Yeah, because she's... I think he's going to figure out that she's doing machinations behind his back. But they had to play a big board game, a battle board game thing that was kind of like Battleship, with rolling of dice and attacking and moving and stuff. And he won. We
Yeah,
had a
but
50-50 chance. She did really well.
Until the end.
Yeah.
But give you an example on how much that these people don't like this man or this kid. They were playing the board game. They also got a second. She had everybody on her team. MK had everybody on her team wanting to be her second. He had nobody. He had to make a plea when everybody was together at lunch, and basically cried to get somebody
And he got one of the people from the opposing team.
to be his second. But give you an example on how self-destructive this guy is. Not once during the whole competition of that board game did he ever talk to his second. His second was basically twiddling his thumbs while the other team were conversing back and forth.
Although admittedly, it worked for him. He won.
The only reason why he won is because she does not know how to roll the dice properly, and she kept on getting ones and zeros.
It's a die. There's no proper technique for rolling a die.
She just let it plop. You don't let a die plop.
Well, okay.
You kind of roll it.
Yeah, you should roll it.
She just went,
Although it didn't have a lot of room to roll in.
He was rolling it.
Yeah. But, so, that's King of the Nerds.
Yes.
And what was it that during his little plea thing, I was so surprised that anyone took him up on it, because I'm like, oh my god,
fell for it.
And fell for it, because I'm like, oh my god, this is a classic supervillain ploy of please feel sorry for me. I've been and then stab, stab, stab in the back. That's what happens with these things. Have they not read any comic books ever? So that's King of the Nerds. What else have we watched?
Nothing.
Nothing, because we've been busy. What else have we done?
Well, I've been watching the Olympics personally.
Well, he's been watching the Olympics.
I've been in the bedroom watching the Olympics. That's what I've been watching.
Sports! Bob Costas has pink eye in both eyes. He has pink eyes.
Yep, and he's no longer the host. They gave it to Matt Lauer because, can't really have somebody with pink eye on international television.
Especially really bad pink eye.
Yeah.
It's beyond just wearing an eye patch. Which is a shame, because Bob Costas is, in my opinion, is actually one of the best people in journalism. Not just sports journalism, I mean strictly journalism. That TV show Later never was as good after Bob Costas left as what it was when he was on there doing it as just an interview show.
But so I'm trying to think, that's all we got.
Yeah.
You got caught up in a show, I have not.
Under the Gun?
Yeah.
Oh, you still haven't got it? Okay.
No, I've already seen it.
Yeah, you got busy. Yeah. Under the Gun, the only thing I gotta say is, if you haven't been watching it because it seems confusing, okay, it's basically the same rules as, say, The Voice or
Fashion Star.
It's just that they dragged the flip out for the first 2 episodes. So just stick with it past the first 2 episodes where they're just dragging their heels, and then you'll finally get to the real show and you'll go, oh, this is how it runs. Okay, I have seen this type of show before. That's my only advice for that. Got caught up on Almost Human. But you
I don't watch
watch
that. Yeah, I don't watch that.
And they introduced John Larroquette as the guy who designed the DRN units, and DRN units are the ones that Michael Ellis plays. They had kind of an emotional response programmed into them so that they could understand people better as police officers, but they found that most of them became unstable and had to be shut down, and that led to them having the more cold, just logical, efficient robots now assisting. And they reactivated Dorian just because this guy...
Because they can.
Yeah. And he's like one of the only active DRN units. And John Larroquette played the guy who designed the DRN units. He was the head of that robotics company that made those units. And they were considered to be like the most advanced units ever. Unfortunately, they also just ended up being horribly unstable and basically going crazy.
Like most androids do.
And so he lost his contract, the business went out of blah, blah, blah. And he's been banned from working with robotics ever since because he came up with another robot after that to try to redeem himself, and this one was just a homicidal maniac robot. When they turned it on, it just killed everybody instead of being a nice subservient helper police robot. And that's when he went to court and he's not allowed to work with robotics. But someone went and reactivated the killer robot because that's, I guess, what you do. And they had to enlist his help to try to track her down because it was a female killer robot. And my main issue was I couldn't understand why that there was a robot that went on a shooting robbery thing, and they brought it down, and they made it inert, and then they put it in a body bag and took it into the evidence room, which the evidence room happened to contain the cybernetic head unit for the other robot. Now, my thing is, why would you put an inert robot into an evidence room in a body bag? I don't care how inert it is. You take that, you dismantle it, you make sure it has absolutely no power source, so it can't be possibly absorbing energy from somewhere, and there's no reason for it to be in a body bag because it's not going to smell. I didn't understand that. So it was no surprise for me when it reactivated, walked over and reactivated the other killer robot. So, but other than that, actually very, very interesting episode. And it was good to see John Larroquette doing stuff again.
No, he's been on Broadway a lot.
Oh, has he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, he did How to
Succeed.
How to Succeed. Has he done more?
Yeah, he's done a couple plays.
Oh, good. I always liked John Larroquette.
Speaking of which, speaking of Broadway, starting the first preview tonight? Guess what's starting the first preview tonight on Broadway at the Winter Garden Theater? I'm vaguely intrigued by this show.
Oh. I have this feeling I'll know what it is once you say it, because there's a couple of them that are like being done that I'm like going, huh? But I thought they were all being done in London.
Actually, this was not done in London. This was done in Germany and opened up in 2012 and still running. It's a huge hit in Germany.
Which one is this one?
Rocky, the musical.
Oh, Rocky the musical. Oh my God. Yeah, I did not know this one had opened up.
Tonight is the first preview.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big deal in Germany. And I remember seeing the guy who brought it to Germany. I guess he's a producer, but he started out in a boxing or something like that, because he's got a body on him. If I recall correctly, the guy who brought it to Germany, or who helped them open it on Germany, not the actor.
Okay.
No, he's one of the backstage production people, like a producer or something like that. If I recall correctly, he dwarfs Sylvester Stallone.
Well, Sylvester Stallone is one of the producers.
Yeah.
Understandably, because it's his movie, it's his script, it's his idea.
Yeah, but I mean physically, he's just a huge guy. But wow, never thought that would hit Broadway.
Yeah.
That's an interest. Out of all the things that you could bring, has anything ever successfully come from Germany to Broadway?
No.
You'd think they'd learn. Germans like David Hasselhoff. That right there. And any of our listeners in Germany or watchers in Germany, hi.
Do we have anybody in Germany?
Guten Tag. I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do still in Australia.
In China.
In China. Need to figure out, like, ni hao ma. But other than that, I don't think that covers Australia. I don't know what to say to Australia other than, hey, how you doing?
No, they speak English, so.
Yeah, but it's that Australian English.
Yeah, well, but the people in Great Britain think we speak funny as well. We have bastard English.
Yeah, but I think everybody in the world who speaks English kind of agrees that Australian English is that English, because they have They have words like
We have words that are bizarre.
we're gonna go to the Bunkatoo and get ourselves some kickatoo. And it's like I don't know what those things are.
Look at the way kids talk now. We have bizarre stuff going on.
Australia seems to have an accent that was designed by Dr. Seuss. Or a vocabulary that was designed by Dr. Seuss.
And the people in the South?
The people in the South, well, they're just precious.
Texas?
Well,
their Texas accent?
Well, Lord love them, they're precious.
And the Bostonians?
I'm not sure Bostonians count.
They have a weird accent.
They have a weird accent, but they use the same words. See, in Australia, they have just different words. And gigantic killer spiders. So, like, the gigantic killer spiders... Being on the run from the gigantic killer spiders possibly means that you don't have as much time to focus on making the vocabulary not sound like you just made it up to fit a rhyme. So, good job for you guys actually surviving in a place that I'm officially afraid to go to. It's just like, yay! Love you guys. You guys got big ass spiders there and other killer things.
All right. Anything else?
I think they have killer lizards.
Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. Well, we're going to be ending this because it's already the time.
Oh, it is the time.
And he doesn't pay attention to the time.
Well, actually, I knew the time would be coming up real soon.
So next week hopefully we'll have either our third host who hasn't been here for a while, or a guest. Yes. So we won't tell you who.
Oh, by the way, comments wise, like, thank you Tina, thank you Stewie Monster, and thank you Montana Girls. They left comments.
Have a good week.
Bye!
People of New York! For quite some time now, I silently observed you carrying on your silly, meaningless little lives. Well, tonight will be my pleasure to liberate you from them. At midnight, I will destroy the city you call home with every last one of you in it. You can scream all you want, but I assure you, there's nowhere to run. There's a new menace in town, and it is me. Where are your heroes now?
So we meet again, my noble heroic friend. This feud has brewed forever, but tonight it will end. And then there will be nothing left of you but a memory. My old foe, arch rival, nemesis, and enemy. You see, my granddad invented tying laughs to train tracks, cackling, twisting his mustache. And my dad, his spawn, carried it on in the 60s, holding hostages with atomic bombs. I come from a long line of this kind of people. I represent a third generation of evil. It courses through my blood, this love of chaos and killing. So much more than just a criminal. I'm a super villain in a mask with black gloves pulled up past my elbows. Hello, I bellow with both fists clasped. A mass of wild hair that's red or orange or green. With a single silver streak, I look horribly mean. I've got an army with weapons and robots and goons, and a gold membership into the Legion of Doom. Beyond the doors of my fortress, it's pouring down rain. I'm no madman, man, no, I'm fucking insane. My satellite sights aimed on strategic sites. Laser beams will vaporize the city tonight. I had to pull a diamond heist to buy my doomsday device. It'll turn the earth to ice, yeah, it's pretty nice. Send out your signal, call in your hero. I kidnapped his lady, now his powers are zero. I'll give him ultimatums, yeah, I'll drop him like pearls. You can choose one hero, the world or the girl. The Joker, Lex Luthor, Two-Face, and Bizarro. Doc Ock, Juggernaut, Ming and Magneto. Green Goblin, Penguin, Venom, Electro. Megatron, Cobra Commander, and Destro. I root for the bad guys with the evil eyes, fists in the sky. They're screaming, die, die, die. And I root for the bad guys, the sick and the twisted, so sadistic and wicked. That's why I root for the bad guys, the psychopathic maniacs, the black hats, or I root for the bad guys, chilling like a supervillain, killing for sport. Now, Mr. Freeze. Now superheroes are bigger and stronger, although villains will triple their sales in action figures alone. Heroes have heart, we control minds. They get the good press, we get the good lines. We say things like, through the day, and for this the people of this little city shall pay. And now I will show you absolute fear. And well, 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 what do we have here? Hey, Mr. Hero, Why the cape and the half mask? Your costume looks stupid. Mine's fucking badass. Now buzz off, you've got a city to save. I'll be back at my lair, giggle and dig in your grave. To me, your identity is no secret. I know the story of your origin, and I know you're weak. Carry on with your absurd monologue, you silly bastard. I won't hear a word over my own demonic laughter. Heroes play supporting roles, the villains a star. With my half-British accent, rolling my R's. Rolling in my getaway car. Go ahead and try to chase me, but you won't get far. My cold black heart starts pumping endorphins every time I leave a bomb in a bus full of orphans. With the door sealed shut, brakes cut, and it's racing towards the edge of a cliff. Shit, you better go and save him. Walk into a trap, pass out, now it's dark. Wake up in chains over a tank full of sharks. I'm sure you'll get free, you always do when the time comes. Even I've escaped a dozen times from the asylum. I got the DA, commissioner, and the mayor tied up to a bomb, and in my palm I hold the detonator. All along, this was my plan. Now I will give you the count of 10 to meet my demands. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Ah, fuck it. Skeletor, Catwoman, and Dr. Doom. Doomsday, Kingpin, and Ra's al Ghul. Shredder and Sandman, Darth Vader and Scarecrow. Brainiac, Mr. Mxyzptlk and Mysterio. Oh! For the bad guys with the evil eyes, fists in the sky, they're screaming die, 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 and I root for the bad guys. The sick and the twisted, so sadistic and wicked. That's why I root for the bad guys. The psychopathic maniacs, a black hat sword. I root for the bad guys. Chilling like a supervillain, killing for sport. Now when the smoke clears and I've seen the light, surrounded by 4 walls, padded in white, in a straight jacket, damn it, this isn't the end. Curses, superhero, we shall meet again.
Okay, that was Schaefer the Dark Lord. Okay, in the background that was a cat knocking things over. But that was Schaefer the Dark Lord, who is supervillain. Seemed kind of oddly appropriate given this week's King of the Nerds. And I got a little bit more exit stuff than what you normally hear from us, because I wanted to clarify a couple little things. First of all, regarding my homework assignment, I didn't mention this in the class. Nobody else did more than one image and one little picture. And most other people did drawings. Virtually no one else did photos either, now that we're all seeing each other's images or covers. So, shut up, Rodney. Shush. So, I'm not the only one who couldn't read instructions. So, there's that. Also, verified at Phoenix Comic Con, we're going to be having Mark Shepard. That's the name of the person that Joseph couldn't remember. And then there's Rice Davies guy. And we also, and it's Christopher Golden. So Michael Golden must be the artist. Christopher Golden is the one that I saw at San Diego Comic Con, and is a really nice guy. And she is posted on the website, so I am free to say this. What the hell is her name? Charlene Harris. Yes, we got Charlene Harris. Ta-da! Regarding the Rocky thing, it's the Klesko brothers. They're apparently a pair of boxers with a great fighting record. There we go. It's the end of a very, very, very long day for me over here. But they're Ukrainian. Somehow they're involved in the original production of Rocky the musical. And I'm kind of curious if they're somehow still attached to it now that it's on Broadway. I don't know. So those are the little things I wanted to pick up from earlier that we had mentioned, but I didn't have all the details because we were doing things on the fly with absolutely no notes or anything. And oh yes, I also wanted to comment on how we went out on Tuesday to go to... I'm like going, what does this note mean I have written here? This means nothing to me. And then I had deciphered my own handwriting and I figured it out. We went out on Tuesday after he did darts to go do karaoke with Amber. Amber is one of the mods for the Phoenix Comic Con. She's been with them for a while and everything. She's known as the mean one. That's kind of what makes her fun. And She must have done something right because Joseph hates karaoke, but as we were leaving, he made sure to let her know that we'll be back in 2 weeks, the next time that he's back down doing darts over at Cobalt. So, good job, Amber. So that's it. Make sure to give everybody your love. Make sure to give us some comments. We love comments. Rank us and rate us and comment on Facebook or on Facebook, on YouTube too, everything. But I was looking for iTunes. iTunes is what I was looking for. Yeah, rating us and putting comments on YouTube, iTunes. And we're available on Libsyn, iTunes, Facebook. You can hunt me down. You can find us on YouTube. If you haven't found, if these are not the places you're already finding us, because that may be where you're already finding us. I don't know. Don't forget about Joshua Tree Feeding Program. They are they're a non-profit organization that helps people with HIV and AIDS get food. They also have a pet food division so that people with HIV and AIDS don't have to make the choice between feeding themselves and feeding their pets. Entirely volunteer organization, so they'll appreciate any help you can give them. Go ahead and check them out at www.jtfp.org. And that's going to be it for this week. Next week, though, 50th episode, baby. We will do something. Like, we'll have an episode. Yeah! Ta-da! Bye!